Every bad habit starts the same way, not with addiction, not with weakness, and not because you're a lazy person. It starts with one small action that makes your brain feel good. But every time you repeat them, your brain strengthens the same pathway, making the behavior easier to repeat the next time. The good news is that habits follow predictable rules. Once you understand why they're formed, you can start breaking them. Here are 8 bad habits that are secretly ruining your life and the science-backed ways to overcome them. Procrastination. We've all done it. You have something important to do, but instead you suddenly feel like cleaning your room, watching YouTube, or checking social media. It feels like you're being lazy, but that's not what's really happening. Your brain isn't trying to avoid work, it's trying to avoid discomfort. When you look at a difficult task, your brain sees stress, uncertainty, or the possibility of failure. To protect you from those uncomfortable feelings, it searches for something that offers an immediate reward instead, like your phone, a funny video, or a quick snack. The moment you choose the easier option, your brain releases a small burst of dopamine. That tiny reward teaches your brain something dangerous. It says, whenever things get difficult, escape. The more often you repeat that cycle, the stronger it becomes. Soon, procrastination stops being a decision. It becomes your brain's default response. The problem is that delaying tasks doesn't remove the stress. It actually makes it worse. Deadlines get closer, anxiety grows, and the task starts feeling even bigger than before. That's why so many people feel trapped in an endless cycle of procrastination. So how do you break it? Most people think they need more motivation, but motivation usually comes after you start, not before. Instead, make the task so small that your brain can't reject it. Don't tell yourself you're going to study for 3 hours. Tell yourself you'll do it for just 2 minutes. Open the document. Write one sentence, read one page. Once you begin, your brain often realizes the task wasn't as painful as it expected, making it much easier to keep going. Small actions may not seem powerful, but they're exactly how your brain builds better habits. Phone addiction. Have you ever unlocked your phone to check one notification, only to realize 20 minutes disappeared? You're not alone. The average person touches their phone hundreds of times every single day, and that's no accident. Most apps are designed to keep your attention for as long as possible. Every notification, message, like, or new video creates a sense of anticipation. Your brain starts expecting a reward before you even open the app. That anticipation triggers dopamine, the chemical that drives motivation and habit formation. But here's the trick. The reward isn't guaranteed. Sometimes there's an interesting message. Sometimes there's nothing at all. This unpredictable reward system is exactly what makes the habit so addictive. It's the same psychological principle used in slot machines. You keep checking because your brain believes the next reward could be just one swipe away. Over time, reaching for your phone becomes automatic. You don't even notice you're doing it. The constant interruptions also train your brain to expect stimulation every few minutes, making it much harder to focus on work, conversations, or even simple moments of silence. So how do you break the cycle? Don't rely on willpower. Change your environment instead. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Keep distracting apps off your home screen. And whenever possible, leave your phone in another room while you're working. The harder you make the habit, the less often your brain will repeat it. Your attention is one of your most valuable resources. Protect it. Doom scrolling. You only plan to watch one video, then another, and another. Before you know it, an entire hour is gone. This habit has a name: doom scrolling. Your brain loves novelty. Every swipe offers something different. A funny clip, a shocking headline, an inspiring story, or a completely random fact. Because you never know what's coming next, your brain keeps chasing the next piece of content. The problem is that social media never gives your brain a natural stopping point. There is always one more video, one more post, one more swipe. Over time, this constant flood of information overloads your attention and leaves your mind mentally exhausted, even though it feels like you've been doing nothing. Many people finish scrolling feeling more anxious, distracted, and less motivated than before they started. The solution isn't deleting every social media app. It's creating clear limits. Decide how long you'll use it before you open the app. Better yet, replace endless scrolling with an activity that gives your brain a real reward, like exercising, reading, or spending time with someone you care about. The internet is designed to capture your attention. Learning when to stop is a skill that protects both your mind and your time. Sugar addiction. Have you ever promised yourself you'd eat just one cookie but somehow finished half the box? That's because sugar affects your brain in ways that are surprisingly similar to other addictive substances. When you eat something sweet, your brain releases dopamine, making you feel good almost instantly. From an evolutionary perspective, this made perfect sense. Sweet foods were once rare and packed with energy, so our brains evolved to crave them. But today, sugar is everywhere. Soft drinks, candy, breakfast cereals, even foods that don't taste particularly sweet. The more often your brain receives these intense bursts of reward, the more it starts craving them. Over time, normal foods become less satisfying, and your brain begins asking for sweeter and sweeter rewards. That's why cravings can feel so powerful. The solution isn't to eliminate sugar forever. Extreme restriction often makes cravings even stronger. Instead, reduce it gradually. Replace sugary snacks with healthier alternatives, eat enough protein and fiber to stay full longer, and avoid buying large amounts of sweets in the first place. Remember, the easiest temptation to resist is the one that's never sitting in your kitchen. Sleeping. Too late. You tell yourself you'll go to bed in 5 minutes. Then you watch one more video, reply to one more message, or scroll through social media just a little longer. Suddenly, it's 2 a.m. This habit isn't just stealing your sleep, it's disrupting your brain's natural rhythm. Your body follows an internal clock called the circadian rhythm, which controls when you feel awake and when you feel tired. Bright light from your phone, especially at night, tells your brain it's still daytime. As a result, it delays the release of melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. The next morning, you're tired, unfocused, and more likely to crave sugary foods and caffeine just to stay awake. Then the cycle repeats itself. Breaking this habit starts long before bedtime. Try putting your phone away at least 30 to 60 minutes before sleeping. Keep your bedtime consistent even on weekends. And create a relaxing nighttime routine that tells your brain the day is coming to an end. Better sleep doesn't just give you more energy. It improves your memory, your mood, your focus, and even your ability to break every other bad habit. Overthinking. Have you ever replayed the same conversation in your head over and over, or spent hours worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet? That's overthinking. Many people believe overthinking helps them solve problems, but in reality, it often does the exact opposite. Instead of finding solutions, your brain gets stuck in a loop of endless what-if questions. This happens because your brain hates uncertainty. When it doesn't have all the answers, it keeps searching for them, hoping that one more thought will finally make everything feel certain. But life rarely works that way. The more you overthink, the more anxious and mentally exhausted you become. Eventually, thinking replaces action, and nothing actually changes. The best way to stop overthinking isn't to force your mind to be quiet, it's to shift your attention into the present. Ask yourself one simple question. Is there anything I can do about this right now? If the answer is yes, take one small action. If the answer is no, remind yourself that more thinking won't change the outcome. Your brain wasn't designed to predict every possible future. It was designed to solve problems one step at a time. Negative self-talk. Imagine hearing someone tell you every single day, "You're not good enough. You're going to fail. You'll never change." Most people would walk away from someone like that. Yet many of us say these exact things to ourselves. Your inner voice has a powerful influence on how your brain sees the world. When you constantly repeat negative thoughts, your brain slowly begins treating them like facts. Over time, this can lower your confidence, increase stress, and make it harder to take risks or try new things. The good news is that your inner voice can be trained. The next time you catch yourself thinking something negative, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, would I say this to someone I care about? If the answer is no, don't say it to yourself either. Replace harsh criticism with something honest but encouraging. Instead of saying, I'll never be good at this, try saying, I'm still learning. That small change may seem simple, but over time, it can completely reshape the way you see yourself. Constant multitasking. Answering emails while watching a video, checking your phone during a conversation, switching between 5 different tasks every few minutes. It feels productive, but your brain doesn't actually multitask, it switches. Every time you jump from one task to another, your brain needs a few moments to refocus. Those tiny delays may seem insignificant, but they add up throughout the day. Studies have shown that frequent task switching reduces focus, increases mistakes, and makes even simple work feel more mentally exhausting. In other words, doing everything at once often means doing nothing particularly well. The solution is surprisingly simple. Instead of splitting your attention, give one task your full focus. Work without distractions for 20 or 30 minutes. Then take a short break before moving on to something else. Your brain performs at its best when it can focus deeply on one thing at a time. Bad habits don't disappear overnight, but once you understand how they work, you can finally start changing them, one small step at a time. Your daily habits shape your future far more than you realize, so start with just one. Because changing a single habit today could completely change your life tomorrow.